I cannot wait to see Noblesse play.
I know, me too. That's the player I had in mind.
Me too.
The player's name started with an N. That was it.
Noblesse.
So,
I'm pretty sure that's the one I was excited about.
But on a serious note, we got a lot of great players today. The round of 32 up till now has been incredible. We've had, I would honestly say, more epic games than normal for the round of 32.
Yes, we have.
A lot of the round of 32 games normally are pretty one-sided. They're not full of as many upsets. Last season was a little bit different, but this time around, I would check out every single day of round 32
certainly.
if you haven't.
And occasionally, some seasons there is something where we're like, I don't watch Group E. You know, Group E was kind of crap.
Like there were no upsets, and the games are very standard.
No, this has been a fantastic season so far, and it's going to continue to be so. We are bringing Wings of Liberty to its grave with style.
So this is going to be the last Wings of Liberty.
This GSL is the sickest funeral pyre for the Wings of Liberty, man.
Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be it's going to be awesome because the person who wins this is essentially the final person.
We have. Hold on, I got to read this. I'm so sorry. It just came up. The Code preliminaries. All right, so we have Sola. Reality, I'm not surprised. I've been saying that guy's so good. Tier, not surprised by that. Killer, I am a little. Songho got through. That's sick.
Killer is back. No offense to Songho. I know he's a friend of ours. I didn't expect him to kind of bubble back up to the top. I didn't know he was playing that much.
He was like kind of acting like a coach recently. But then we also have Zenio. That's great to see. Arthur, very nice after that Slayer split. To see him doing well.
Yeah.
And Effort. Wow, that is a sick lineup. Except I'm trying to think who Sola is.
It's really cool to see who's. I would say been phased out. You got somebody like Nada. We were like, how good is this guy going to be? This is 2 years ago, but is he going to be dominant? Is he going to rise to the top, sink back down, and come back? And then to see who's been consistent players like Nesty or MVP, even though MVP was eliminated yesterday. It was really overall though. I mean,
he probably got eliminated so he didn't get embarrassed by Nesty in the round of 16.
Of course, he said, "I'll take Code. You win Code this time."
He doesn't want to get second place in GSL.
Basically, they have little places for the trophies in their bedroom that they share together, and they got a big piece of tape down the middle. All right, I want this many trophies.
The thing is, the shelf that all the IM trophies are on,
don't cross.
MVPs has that extra trophy, so it's like the shelf is getting wobbly. He knows Nesty has to win it, because if he wins another one, it's just going to go.
It's going to flip
all the
over.
trophies are going to hit the ground.
Yeah, and then you got a mess.
What if you're standing there, one will land on your toe? That would hurt badly. Oh, my God.
That would hurt.
Oh, jeez.
You ever notice that, speaking of toes, you will always stub your toe in the morning? You never stub your toe any other time in the day.
I never noticed, but okay.
Think about it. You always stub your toe in the morning.
Something about the magnetism and gravity of toes in the morning.
I think it's normally because you don't have socks or shoes on, you're going to the shower. But yeah, that could be it too. So we got our lineup today: Soulkey, Noblesse, Nasty, and Teja.
That is a sick lineup indeed. Who do you think is going to come out, Tasteless? Because I think it's going to be Nesty for sure, and I don't know, Teja or Soulkey. I feel is going to come out.
I think Teja's going to come out.
Teja is still in rough shape, man.
I feel like he might have bounced back. But you know what?
No, he's so good. But I was just talking to Wani. He was saying that Teja's having a hard time practicing more than a couple hours at a time without taking a break, which is far fewer hours than most pros put in.
Now, of course, Noblesse. If you've been watching GSL for a long time, you'd be familiar with Noblesse.
Yeah.
I thought he was one of these people that was gone for good. But he's back now. Let's see how he does. That's Nesty over there. The one that's considerably larger than the rest of our pro gamers.
He is giant.
And, of course, Nesty, we are a fan of this guy.
He is the tallest and the oldest. Nesty is like
a tree.
How old is he
in Western age? What is he, 30?
I believe he's 29. I think he's my age.
No, he's older than you.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nesty
I'm almost positive he's older than you.
If he's older, he's 1 year older, I believe.
Okay.
Then
maybe 33 would be his Korean age. But all right, so
I thought he was 29 or 30. So.
Okay. Well, here's our Zerg player. One of two in this group.
Yeah.
It's Soulkey.
Yeah, he's super good ZVZ. We had that that day that you broke your rib. I casted Soulkey do.
That was painful,
an all
by the way.
ZVZ group with Life and Leenock in it, and Symbol, I believe.
Do you remember?
Sick of CVZ.
It's really impressive stuff.
Yeah.
No, that day I broke my rib. I was in a taxi with Artosis, and I had a bad cough, and I just coughed, and I was suddenly
Artosis is
so much pain.
Very brittle. He needs to start taking Centrum Silver, man.
Yeah. All right. Over here, we'd have the underdog of the group, but I love to see upsets, so You know,
Noblesse,
don't count him out yet.
He's so young. And Noblesse is, when you're that young and you've already done this reasonably well, look at that. He's been in 2 Codesses. I mean, that's really nice. But when you're that young and you're playing all day, every day, eventually everything's going to click. And one day, this kid, we're going to be like, I don't think he's going to get through this group. And then he's going to crush it. We're going to be like, whoa.
Yeah, you start out young, you keep playing. You know, you see the parts align in your mind. Oh, you start to see the code like Neo in the Matrix. And next thing you know, this guy's, he'll be 18 or 19 or something. It's like he's like the best in the world. So you never know what to expect.
All right.
Our map is going to be...
It's going to be Icarus. Ooh, fun.
I love
Icarus. I love to watch games.
I love our new maps, actually.
Yeah, it's very nice.
The map makers have really gotten good at figuring out how to make more balanced maps while still making them engaging and entertaining.
Yeah. All right, Tasteless.
Your predictions?
I think Soulkey takes it 2-0.
I agree 100% with you. I think at the minimum, Soulkey takes it 2-1.
Yeah.
But
I'd be surprised if Noblesse went to the winter final of this group.
I would be so surprised.
No.
Well, we'll see, though. All right, so this is going to be the first game of today. And by the way, we will not be here tomorrow.
That's right.
Just for the record, if you guys are going to tune in tomorrow,
it's going to be Wolf.
You guys a heads up. It's going to be Wolf.
The Lone Wolf cast.
The Lone Wolf, yes.
Yep.
So just a heads up there, guys. Which is too bad because that's actually...
we really wanted to cast Stefano. I mean, it's such a stacked group as well, but you guys will enjoy Wolf.
All right, guys, it's time. Let's get ready for Noblesse up against Soulkey. Here in Seoul, Korea, where the best StarCraft 2 players reside and compete in the GSL. In the bottom right, ZVZ Master here. Right now in his EVT, he is... And in the upper left, we've got our Terran player, the underdog of the group. He is Noblesse.
All right. I'm excited to see how Noblesse has grown as a player. Because, just, again, being this young, practicing as much as we know he's practicing. I mean, when you're that young and you're on a Korean team, the amount of hours that you can put towards this game, and with your young brain just learning it so quickly, because younger brains actually learn better in a lot of ways.
By the way, this game's already getting interesting. So,
yeah, he has a barracks in the natural of Soulkey.
So this is...
That's pretty tricky.
Interesting.
I think he's going to bunk rush this hatchery, Tasteless.
Yeah. I wonder if this works.
Well, it's all going to
Here's the funny thing, too, is that he's going to start the drone scout when he sees there's nothing here. And he's going to check the outside of his base.
Yeah, is he going to check in the natural, though? Because if he doesn't check, then this is going to work. Well, it looks like he's saving up for a pool. Yep, there you go. The pool goes down. Not too many drones after the hatch.
All right, now he can actually... All right, he's going to leapfrog the bunkers.
That definitely doesn't see him. And yeah, no, that placement right there, I would say this is becoming increasingly likely that he'll kill the hatch.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tough defense for Soulkey.
All right. Well, here's what's going to happen, guys. When that bunker finishes, he's going to make one more closer to the hatch.
Yep.
Oh, he's actually going to send this SCV down here.
I guess will there be a cancel? He doesn't know exactly how much is there. He doesn't know there's a bunker.
I don't think he should have attacked this soon. I think he should have let it finish.
I felt like that, but he may want the cancel, possibly. With that there's going to be creep. There's going to be more production. There's going to be a higher chance that you can actually break this. But it is a cancel. And, okay, so he's going to want to build one at home now so that he can actually go ahead and defend against any Lings that go for a counterattack. And he'll probably continue to make a few Marines out of the other one so that he can put on at least a little bit of pressure if those Zerglings leave.
Yeah, you make a good point. Zerg is going to have to address that the bunkers and barracks, because if Zerg tries to be aggressive at all to the Terran, then Range just come up and start gunning down drones.
Yeah, yeah. It's a pretty annoying situation for him, but didn't actually make too many Marines down there. I think he has 3 or 4 right now. And a Roach Warren coming up for Soulkey. So that might be his choice for eliminating the bunker, but I would say he'd probably put on some counter pressure as well.
All right, the Lings are going to come up here. This is actually, I got to say, from Noblesse, this is a really well timed out build.
Yeah, this is well done. You know, this is something that has totally caught Soulkey off guard. And, you know, this is annoying that he has to go repair, but this is not a huge deal.
Wow, actually, he could probably just unload and go for it.
Yeah. Well, this barracks showing him exactly what's going on. Not going to be hard at all for him to hold off against those roaches. The one annoying thing is that they can go after the rocks, which is going to be something that he doesn't have the range to stop. Like, those rocks will die, so there's a possibility if Soulkey really focuses on roaches that he's going to have to make some more bunkers.
Do you think the follow-up command center with this was the right idea, or do you think you should have stayed on one base?
I think the follow-up command center is good. I do. The only thing I could see giving him trouble is those back rocks being attacked quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be hard for him to know exactly how many units are produced by Soulkey. So if it's just like 5, 6 roaches, yeah, you can deal with that with 1 barracks Marines and some bunkers. But what if there's like 1 million speedlings coming behind it, or banelings as well? It's going to be kind of hard to judge, and that's why he's using this barracks to try to figure out exactly what the production's like.
All right. So as you can see here, you know, the roaches will kill off this bunker, but they will unload and go to the next bunker here. Momentarily, so it's a bit frustrating for him. Oh, he's supposed to pay attention.
He didn't actually have them rallied into there. That is a small mistake there by Noblesse, and in fact, he's not even going to sell this bunker. Noblesse is doing something else completely right now.
His eyes are elsewhere.
Yeah. Those rocks, pretty big, so he's barely able to even hit the Lings. Only a few of them, in fact. And a factory on the way, as well as the second barracks.
All right, transferring the drones over here. I got to say, Soulkey so far has had very good improvisational abilities here, considering this is like a complete out of the blue strat. This is not something that he prepared for. What if he hit a barracks in my base and denied my expansion? So we're seeing Soulkey think on his feet right now.
Yeah, and we'll see what he can do with this. Now, with the roaches coming up, that's going to put him a little bit scared, but he's getting a siege tank with siege mode right now, so these roaches aren't going to do any lasting damage. But again, Soulkey not actually planning on that anyways. These were more to scare him and to clean up the bunker.
All right, the hatchery now for the expansion is on the way, and this is exactly what Artos has talked about. Just, you know, he's going to hit those rocks. Not really a lot you can do to deny them from doing that. He doesn't have siege mode just yet. But, you know, you could send in a lot of speedlings or banelings if he wanted to here. So this kind of opens the Terran up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he's going to bring his siege tank down in just a second here to help deal with that. And you know what? If Soulkey had gone for a lot of speedlings, he might have been able to do some damage here. But Noblesse is basically calling the bluff. He's not making any bunkers or anything. He's just sitting back saying this is not that much.
All right, siege mode is up. And, you know, he won't even have to move the command center. Yeah. So Noblesse is on a roll right now.
He is.
He's not missing a beat. I guess the before that, those bunkers were destroyed down there. That could have gone a little bit better. Yeah. But that's not
a big deal.
Game
not a
changer.
Game changer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, another command center is on the way. 1-1 as well for Noblesse. Playing a very safe and solid macro game after forcing that cancel, which is a good way to go about it. You know, he's just going to keep his macro a little bit ahead of Soulkey if possible. Soulkey, on the other hand, getting some really nice creep spread going. His 1-1 is a little bit ahead, and his layer's about to finish. So we'll see if he goes speed banes immediately, because his Baneley Nest was actually timed out with that layer. But no, right into an infestation pit and burrow.
All right, so we got the infestation pit, as you said. And I think we're going to have a passive moment, with a little bit of downtime, we should say. They're not going to attack into each other. Terrans doing very standard tech with the, you know, just Lots of barracks, get a bunch of siege tanks. Siege tanks are there to get the banelings. The Marines are there to make sure that you know, they can stim and wipe out anything else that's there. He's going to split, make sure that he doesn't get hit within a fungal.
Yeah.
With his army all clumped up together. But also note this map is pretty big. It's actually a pretty big walk.
Yeah.
To the other guy's base. So
it does take a little bit.
You know, Zerg takes the 4th to the bottom left. That's going to be pretty tough to push.
Yeah, it's not so easy to actually push there. Very good point.
Yeah.
And you know what, with this burrow and the good creep spread, I actually really like this because he's dropping creep as a 3rd base of Noblesse before he gets there. I'm sure he'll burrow a Ling there as well. And, you know, Soulkey's really setting himself up in a nice situation. And I feel like this is the time for him to actually think about taking that 4th base that you were talking about.
I think he should, for sure.
This is a time where it's going to be extremely hard to actually attack into Soulkey and get significant damage done. I mean, we don't even have a medevac out at this point, so you know, this is like a really funny style that we're seeing out of Noblesse. In fact, it might be one of these rally pushes where you're just, you know, the parade push as we call it, where it's just a lot of Marines and siege tanks. In fact, the Tank Factory is on the way. And you just never-ending push.
I don't know, is that even good on this map?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I think it's like reasonably good on any map.
But, you know, I feel like it's not like there's the one expansion that's like closer to the Terran that Zerg can't reinforce and Zerg needed because it had extra gases, or I don't know.
I'm not sure. It's really actually quite hard to say, but
we've got some Banelings morphing back here.
Baneling's speed is about to finish, so he might be going for a little hit on the natural base of Noblesse there. You know, use the Banelings to kill off the supply depots and then run into SCV line. That's kind of out of the way for Noblesse, so that would be quite annoying to actually deal with.
Yeah, you could certainly do that. He might even wait until Terran leaves his base, too.
Definitely could. Still no 4th base for Soulkey.
Also, no combat shields yet for Noblesse.
You know what that signifies is he absolutely doesn't plan on moving out yet. He's going to get that just when it's time to move out and spend every other mineral on getting his macro going, his upgrades going.
Good analysis there. You are 100% right. Stimming and coming here, and wow, this did less than nothing.
Yeah, that wasn't very much. Is there anything less than nothing? I don't know.
Well, there was that drop, but all right, so nice. He did force cancel over there.
Yeah, very well done.
That's kind of painful. What?
You know what? Noblesse keeps doing things like that. You know what? He focuses on
his
things
base.
like his macro.
Yeah.
Which actually is a cool thing to do because you oftentimes see people over micro things that don't matter. Like, were those 8 Marines as important as him getting 10 more Marines and another siege tank on time?
You know what's so funny about that is when you see a guy, oh, there's a pro bailing there. You see some guy like his medevac's being hit by 20 mutas and he still tries to unload it as it's getting killed. It's like, it doesn't matter, man. It's not.
Yeah.
You're going to get like 2 shots off on a muta and that's it.
Yeah. And
use your APM elsewhere.
That definitely could be one of Noblesse's strong skills here, not ever wasting time on actions that aren't as important as other actions. You know, deciding which actions deserve your attention is one of the hardest things to do in StarCraft.
Well, he's pushing up over here. This is a pretty uncontested push.
Yeah,
there's a counter going on over here, but I mean, this is, I think, a fairly manageable situation over here in the Terran space. I mean, he's just going to eventually make stuff and burn that out. I feel like this attack over here, where Soulkey seems to be almost frozen, is going to be the real concern.
This is doing some real damage there, but we do have a big Ling attack coming up here into the 3rd base of Noblesse and surrounding absolutely everything. And it looks like Noblesse going to lose quite a few units there. Scan going down that isn't all that effective, but in fact, Noblesse killing a base. And it's kind of a mini base trade scenario, but Soulkey is about to have Broodlords, which is going to help him to get his 3rd base back.
All right, a lot of action going on here. The Zerg's on 2 base, Terran's on 2 base, and it's not entirely clear who's going to win this right now. You know, I will say Terran has a much scarier army pushing forward. The Zerg has a bunch of Lings that will eventually be wiped out.
But, you know, with these Broodlords, that is really going to help significantly. In fact, he's going to have a Adrenal Glands.
He only has 2 medevacs with his army?
Yeah, he went Modiflax, like, extremely
That's not good, because if he gets hit by the Broodlords, he can't just pick up and leave.
Well, the Broodlords are starting to come in here.
All right, he needs to retreat. I don't know why this...
retreating tanks against Lings and Infestors, never a good idea. And in fact, Soulkey's starting to clean up this army.
And these are some heavy blows these guys dealt to each other. This has actually been not that different from the other Codex games we've seen this season. Or, you know, I think counterattacking has become so popular, but now people have gotten so good at dealing with counterattacks, they both deflect each other's attacks, and then the game goes on, even though they're both badly crippled.
Well, they certainly are both badly crippled. This is a terrible economy right now for Soulkey. He's having a very hard time with things. Noblesse, even more so, even though he just relanded that third command center, his main and natural are basically mined out. And that's not a good place to be in. I mean, the income of these guys is quite low.
All right, so it almost looks as though Soulkey's banking on this one attack, not the one with the Lings that we see here, but this giant red blob, center middle of the map, that one right there. On wiping out this additional base, and it looks like Noblesse is just going to try to hold on and defend.
Look at this, though. We do have a drop going down. Not really going to do all that much damage, but here comes the real attack that truly matters here. Fungal growths are going to be so important because he doesn't have many of them. Oh, that's a very good fungal going down, but the Vikings are coming out, and he just doesn't have anti-air right now.
All right, takes out one Broodlord, but the third base here for Terran is being hit very hard. He picks up and puts in the medevacs.
And this is just getting really, really messy right now.
It is. There's just one Viking out right now.
Yeah, but he does have 25 Marines, and there's not that many Broodlords, not that many Infestors, so the Marines may be able to overpower everything. I see only one Fungal ready with this army. So, you know, if you split your Marines a little bit, stim and run in there, he will be able to take out those Infestors and those Broodlords. There are some Lings coming up as reinforcements. That's certainly going to help out.
All right. Looks like there's a small squad moving out here for Noblesse, trying to just deny this third base. It looks like it's probably going to work. He really can't afford to lose any of these tanks.
That tank trying to go down here. Not sure what he was doing.
Bad rally point.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely a bad rally point as tanks keep moving into this.
I got to agree with you on that.
That's basically just not okay.
Well, that's a lot of tanks going down.
Yeah, for nothing. I mean, they were not dealing any damage.
And that's a beautiful fungal growth right there. And in fact, he's gained some more fungals in this time.
Nice fungals.
Yeah, and Soulkey dealing a huge amount of damage.
But you know what? Soulkey's got it.
Yes, indeed.
He is just barely broken in there.
What does Noblesse have left? He has 11 Marines and 6 medevacs.
He's just chewing up the barracks right now.
Yeah.
There's another siege tank painfully on a rally outside of the base that will be killed.
Well, yes, these siege tanks have been painful. That's a good
Yeah, that was a rough way to, I think, end this game. Clearly, whatever happened down there with that drop was denied. I'm assuming those Zerglings killed it off.
I would say so. Well, I mean, the amount of damage being done here while Soulkey rebuilds his whole army, it's just too much. Even though we're going to see a lot of these units possibly die, well, in fact, he still has one of the Broodlords left.
He's making another one, too. And he's got Lings coming up here and some roads. Yeah, that's it, GG.
All right. Pretty good game.
That really slowed down there at the end. I was, you know, it was hard to tell, is this game over yet or not? You know, Noblesse had a few moments of sloppiness there.
He did.
But I got to hand it to Soulkey. I mean, that game started out so weird. He transitioned that into a completely healthy endgame ZVT, excuse me.
Yeah, you can see he's a much more flexible Zerg right now than Noblesse is a Terran. Noblesse, he had the play in that game, and things went according to his plan.
And he still failed.
Yeah, he still did, in fact, fail. Some good moves by Soulkey, man. When Noblesse took out the third and the fourth base at the same time,
yeah,
I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe he can take out Soulkey, but Soulkey had that correct unit composition. He hit some fungals. He did some nice counter harassment.
Well, you can see Soulkey's a pretty scrappy Zerg. He's okay. He can make do with just 4 Broodlords and a handful of Infestors.
Yeah.
And a few Lings or something, and hold off a lot more than he should be able to.
It's true. He played a great scrappy game, and I tell you what, if you want to call him a patch Zerg, you better mean that he's patching his old genes to make them last longer, just like he did in that game.
Oh, Artosis. All right. Well, the next map is going to be Cloud Kingdom. That was chosen by Noblesse since he lost that. Cloud Kingdom, one of our tighter maps here. A lot of, valley fighting, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
That's the technical term
valley
for it.
Fighting.
Valley fighting.
I think that'll probably catch on, Tasteless. I think everyone will be calling it valley
fighting. Yeah. We're on the forefront here. All right. So looks like the game's loaded up. So we're going to get this going. Is Soulkey going to close us out 2-0 going to the winners, or is Noblesse going to bounce back and bring us to game number 3? We're going to find out soon here at GomTV.net. In the upper right, really is showing his adaptability in game number 1. He is
Woongjin stars Soulkey.
And in the bottom left, we have our very, very young Terran player, very skilled. Let's see how he does this time. He is
MVPNoblesse.
Well, you know, I like the willingness of Noblesse to use a strategy like we saw in that last game, where, you know, he does this very sneaky barracks into 3 base, make a ton of units, and do a very strong 2-2 timing push.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good fundamentals, the follow-up. You know, it's a tricky opener into good fundamentals, and a player willing to play like that is definitely one of these players, like we've said about some others, for instance, Yoda, where, you know, if the Noblesse keeps on this course, he'll become a staple, a regular in the Korean scene.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. And not shocking here, Soulkey's drone scouting everywhere.
Yeah. You know, I do have great respect for Zerg players that drone scout.
Oh,
You know?
I think you should drone scout a lot. I really prefer the drone scout builds.
Look, scouting...
especially if you play on the ladder, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
It's just like...
I'm always in shock when someone doesn't scout me. I
On-
mean, it's
on
good
a ladder
against me.
game,
It's because I don't cheese, but I'm a barcode man. They don't know that. You know?
Yeah. Those guys that don't know all the... do they do this on the U.S. server? The barcode thing?
I believe every server now has a lot of barcodes.
My ID's not a
USU
barcode, but it's like nobody knows what it is, so it's like, it's fine anyways.
Oh, okay.
But like basically what you can do is you can make, you know, capital I's, lowercase L's, and stuff like that. It has a certain pattern. It just looks like a barcode.
Yeah,
There's no way to read the font, so
yeah, with the font when it loads up,
instead
you
of even
can't
knowing
tell.
instead of knowing it's like, oh, it's that Artosis guy. He always does this. I'm going to do this. You just actually have no idea who you were against.
I try to remember the pictures. Well, you know what I'm going to start doing, Tasteless? I'm going to be a barcode and randomize my picture every time I queue
Every time. I got to play another game. Hold on, let me go into the options menu and figure out which one of these guys I want to be this time. I think I'm going to be the female medevac.
Yeah.
Well, my picture in my StarCraft profile is still that guy with the headset on.
Yeah, mine too.
In the background.
That's
of
what
the,
you start with.
Yeah. That's what I die with, Artosis.
Yeah. That's actually, some of my accounts have other stuff.
I always wondered if they were going to let you put any picture.
It's too hard. You'd have to police it too much.
And that's what they did on PokerStars.
Okay. Good for PokerStars, Tasteless.
Yeah, man, there you go.
Well,
my PokerStars account had a King Kong.
Did it?
Yeah, it was good. It was a good black and white King Kong picture. Do you care?
I care a lot. I care about everything you say, actually.
All right, thank you.
I don't have to be interested to care, though.
Okay,
That's two different things.
That is different.
Yeah.
Well,
we have Soulkey going up to 4 queens against very standard play by Noblesse. Do you think Noblesse is going to go right into a 3rd command center, or is he going to throw down a starport?
I say starport.
No, it's a 3rd command. Look at there.
Yeah, that's too late. I guess the wrong moment.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, Tasteless.
It's okay. You know, again, this is very standard. This is a good build from Noblesse. The thing is, when you watch, you know, a player that isn't like, let's say, MVP or, you know, Innovation or Marine King or someone like that, do an extremely standard build that you practice against all the time, then they're going to have a very hard time of it, because this is going to be exactly what Soulkey's used to. That's what he's practiced against 1,000 times. He's got a lot more experience than Noblesse. He's been a pro gamer much longer.
Yep.
Even though Noblesse has more StarCraft 2 experience technically. Still, this is... It makes it much harder, which is why you see a lot of up-and-coming pros that come up quicker. They're cheesy. They're like, well, you know, I'm just going to do like gateway all-ins, or I'm going to just do this or that, or, you know, there's all sorts of different cheeses. Like, I'm gonna be the guy that always 1-1-1s. I'm gonna be the guy that always proxy raxes. And players like that will come up and have a lot more success a lot quicker, but their longevity is far, far less than someone like Noblesse.
Yeah.
Yeah, their longevity as well.
Yes. Their longevity.
Yeah.
It's a bit of longitude. It's okay.
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry, I'm fatigued.
It's not
I've had a long day.
Well, we got the double Evo chamber here. He's putting that there to make that into somewhat of a wall. The teching has begun. And he's going to mech.
Cool.
Neat.
Noblesse. Yes.
This is not a bad map to mech on.
No, it's a great map.
As long as you know how to turtle properly. Mm-hmm. And just make sure that they can't really counterattack you.
I love this map for mech. I really do. The one thing that I definitely can say is that Noblesse knows how to play against mech on this map because he is a Kespa Zerg, and in Kespa, I feel like 90% of the TVZs that I've seen from Kespa players, whether it be in practice or tournaments on Cloud Kingdom, have been mech. So, I mean, that's something that he should be ready for. And in fact, he already did open with some roaches, but he is getting the melee attack upgrade. Yep. So it's hard to say if he's actually going to stay on roaches.
Well, he doesn't know that it's mech yet.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So he's actually thinking that these are the roaches that he makes so that he freaks out the SCVs and he can tear down depots and stuff. But he's going to go into he's playing this as if Bio's coming. But
yeah.
Which kind of sucks that he's getting that attack upgrade. Well, the melee upgrade, I should say.
Yeah, it'll be useful eventually, but definitely the ranged attack will be better against mech.
Yeah, right in mid-game. It's like, ugh.
So we'll see how long it takes him to figure it out. Because, yeah, of course, anyone going bio will probably have Hellions anyways. Now, Noblesse with a super quick third base, and with the siege mode almost done, if he places his siege tanks correctly, the odds of him being broken very, very slim. Now, Baneling Nest on the way, so yeah, he still has absolutely no idea. And as this layer finishes, he should turn that Overlord right there that we're looking at into an Overseer.
Yep, and then you go into the main.
And as soon as he sees its mech, wouldn't be surprised if we see a slight shift in what he's doing. He is getting Roach Speed and Infestation Pit, so that's already stuff that's going to help him against mech.
Yep. Well, there will be a little bit of downtime here, as they're both basically powered up. Fourth base for the Zergs on the way. And, yeah, I mean, we got to kind of wait. Neither player can really engage the other one without being punished so heavily that it would not. I mean, there's no way that it could possibly be worth it.
Yeah. You know, he still has no intel. He has just no intel. He hasn't run anything in. He hasn't seen a siege tank. He hasn't looked in the base. Soulkey is playing this so blind right now.
It's almost off-putting. I'm like, this is really...
Well,
dicey stuff.
I just love people who scout because then
they know and they can react.
Yeah, but if you're just blindly going for this composition that, I mean, it's not that Lings are completely terrible against mech in all situations. You can definitely still use them to some degree, but is this exactly the tech route that he would want to use against mech?
He's going to go for a Karn build push, so I mean, this is like actually kind of ideal against a guy with low roach numbers and a bunch of Lings.
That's very
This is actually like, it cannot get any worse for you.
No, a lot of Blue Flame Hellions with upgrades are going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's really possible that Soulkey is just going to lose.
Well, you know, a lot of it should come down to exactly how the engagements go, because if Noblesse hits the push just right, then yeah, he's going to be feeling pretty good. But we're going to have to see what his execution is like in that regard. Well, we do have a lot of infestors coming out, and I have to admit the creep spread of Soulkey is pretty fantastic right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's up to 5 queens. Queen's actually, believe it or not, a very good unit against mech.
Yeah.
They
oddly.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Actually, I was talking to TLO about that, and I guess Scarlet had told him kind of about this, how, you know, when you think about it, the Queen doesn't take extra damage from any mech unit.
Yep.
And the Queen is so big that Tank Splash doesn't come off of it very much, and it has transfusions.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that with the Tank Splash.
And it has 5 range, which means it hits Hellions, so it's actually
pretty good.
It's quite a nice unit against mech.
Well, they're both almost maxed out. The game's going to cap how many units they can make. And we're kind of waiting and seeing when he's going to push. You can see there's a counterattack set up here at the bottom right.
This is one of the least scouted games I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, players just not... He hasn't even checked to see if Zerg has a 4th.
Yeah.
Okay, we just got to push. This is kind of a weird game. It's not what we normally cast.
Yeah,
He's basically playing in the dark the entire time. Counterattack coming over here in the bottom center.
There is a siege tank and a bunker here, but there is enough units to take that out for sure.
Yeah, he's going to have to run with the SCVs once he sees that bunker. Got some bungles over here on those Hellions. Third base drawing heavy fire, especially stuck inside here. They can drop a bunch of infested Terrans over here onto the second base for the Terran. Zerg now are getting from the fourth, going back to the third.
And you know what? This is really good for Soulkey, man. This is going super well for him because that mech army out there, it'll kill a lot, but it's not going to last forever. This 3-base Zerg economy of Soulkey is going to be able to whittle that down, absolutely. Between infestors, roaches on creep, and lings on creep, he will kill that army off eventually, whereas the amount of damage done to Noblesse at home, is that something that he's going to recover from as easily?
I don't know if Noblesse is going to push me further here. I think actually Soulkey might have done it. There's not, I mean, there's about a siege tanks. The Thors alone can't really cover for him.
No.
And he's right at the mouth of, where all the Zerg units are going to come out of.
And he does lose it. Only one base killed.
Can we use your preview computer, Toast?
Yeah.
This is the third base. Okay, third base in shambles.
Yeah. The natural got cleaned up pretty well for a while. Thing is, he did save a lot of SCVs. He still has 48.
Yeah, but that's to 77 drones.
He lost his entire mech army, so it doesn't matter, you know? There's going to be just a ton of stuff coming at him, and Broodlord tech is almost done. He can't possibly afford to rebuild his mech army and go Vikings from here. It's just not going to happen, Thesis. He doesn't have the money.
Sorry for asking.
You can't get blood from a stone, as my mother used to say.
Is that what your mother would say?
Yeah.
Is that actually a saying?
I think it's a saying in northern Vermont or something.
You can't get blood from a stone?
Yeah. It's a saying.
Are you serious?
I'm completely serious. That's an actual saying.
Oh my God, that's
true.
That's no stitch in time saves 9. That's
no, can't get blood from a stone.
Why would you want to take blood from a stone or anything?
Well, no, it's just a saying, man. Like, you can't get blood from a stone. You can't get money from someone who has no money. You can't build Vikings and mech if you don't have a big economy.
Oh wow!
It's
now
that
you just saved it. Okay, you pulled it all back around.
It's a real saying. I'm not pulling your leg at all. This isn't even a joke.
Well, no, it just sounds like one of those, like, our toast is pull this out of the air.
No, really.
It's creative enough that I'm like,
I grew up with that one. All right, well, Soulkey right now is in a pretty darn nice spot. He's taking additional bases. That creep spread is nothing short of fantastic.
Spotting those infestors in the ground, that's a big tell. Had he seen that was just a few roaches and lings, he probably would have behaved differently. So
yeah. You know, Broodlord's on the way. How many Vikings does he have out right now? He has 3 with 2 more being made. But yeah, this is going to be so ridiculously difficult for Noblesse to actually hold on to a proper Broodlord push, because every second that he's not moving around the map and attacking, these infestors are gaining more energy. And they're going to have so many fungals, so many infested Terrans ready to support those Broodlords that I don't see, you know, the possibly 9 to 13 Viking count doing anything.
To be totally frank, I feel like this game, and we're going to find out if I'm wrong here, but I think a lot of this game just ended when that big counterattack from the Zerg occurred.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was too well done.
The Zerg has got way too much flexibility. Think of how close the last game was. Now look at the splice here, 187 to 130.
Yeah.
Noblesse in a deficit, trying to scrape together the 4th base over here, which will in fact be hit. As you can see on the mini map, there's a blob sort of in the middle of that red gaggle of Broodlords, or a murder of Broodlords.
Murder, I don't know. I think it's a business of Broodlords.
It's definitely not a pride of Broodlords.
No, it's definitely not a pride. Someone suggested GG of Broodlords. In this case,
I like that. This is the GG of Broodlords. That's pretty funny. And you see, there's just not much that he can do against this. You see there's a scan, which will allow Noblesse to know this probably won't work, but does he really have an option? No, he does not.
Well, here come those Vikings. They're going to clump, and there's going to be some sick fungals. There you go. Yeah, between fungal plus corruptor, those Vikings are not long for this world, Tasteless. And
I would expect to see GG here in about a minute.
Within a minute, I would say. I mean, you may as well leave now. He's half the supply. He absolutely has no way to recover the tech he needs to even fight this armor.
GG. All right, Soulkey.
A little bit anticlimactic there, but You know what? Noblesse, obviously a strong player to get into Codas. The thing is, Soulkey definitely showing superior skills this game.
Noblesse, it's a tense moment for him here. He's played his first match here in Codas, but he hadn't played in for a while. He's now in the losers group, which means he has the hardest possible scenario to get out now.
Yeah.
The rest of the people in this group are very good, very skilled, very scary. And I don't know. We're going to see what other strats he's got. I like the strat in game number 1. That was really cool.
Yeah.
The barracks inside the
totally.
expansion.
Yeah, I mean, Noblesse is a good player, and he'll be back. And I'm not even saying he's not even out yet, but it feels like he's outclassed in this group. This is a tough group.
It feels like it's almost virtually impossible for him to now get out of the group.
Yeah.
But we'll see. You never know what to expect. We had MVP eliminated first yesterday, so anything can happen. We're going to take a quick little break, and when we return, we're going to have more StarCraft 2 action.